So, if you can see me, hear me, confirm it. Good morning, Samriddhi. So, there was an organization where I used to work earlier. So, there was a girl called Samriddhi Mehta, very hardworking girl. Samriddhi, that means prosperity. So, good morning, Jeevayan, Vatsayan, Anandu, Priya, Himani, and other people. Let's start the discussion. I think you can hear me and everything is just fine. It's totally clear. Let's start the discussion. Okay, so Hindu analysis 15 July 2025. Just give me a second. I will share this particular PDF of this Hindu analysis in my Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shubh, by 10:30 a.m. today. ठीक है? So, good morning everyone. Good morning Himani and Rishi Kapoor. Let's start with the first article of the day, page 8 editorial. Again, there was one day, I think day before yesterday or something, when there were too many important editorials and opinions. Same goes for today. So we have two editorials, which is very important. First editorial written by Shashi Tharoor, whose English is awesome. So the importance of India and Europe walking in step. So here he will talk about, how Trump and his US and their policies are so unreliable, unpredictable and everything. Because of that, Europe cannot rely on Trump that much. Europe and Trump and US and especially Western Europe, when you're talking about NATO. So they have a very close-knit alliance. We can talk about this, or you may have read about this in world history. Even if you have not, just listen to me. Like these countries, France, Germany, etc., England, they have a good relationship. They had a good relationship in the post-Second World War era, when the world was divided into two parts, capitalist group and communist group. Communist group, Soviet Union plus some Eastern European countries, and then that was the communist group, and the capitalist group is of US and Western European countries. But now these Western European countries, they're having a rethink because of Donald Trump, Orange Man and Tariff Man and his policy. In that regard, Shashi Tharoor has written this editorial. All those bol bachan, all those stuff are fine from GS mains paper to international relation perspective. But then there is another thing which is important here. IMEC, India, Middle East, and IMEC will talk about India, Middle East and this whole corridor, Middle East European corridor. So what is this IMEC? What is this whole corridor all about? When was it proposed? Different implications of this particular corridor. So there are so many things which we have to talk about. Good morning, my Kannada friend Gonmai and Vagamare. So let's start the discussion and let's have a look at this. So strategic opportunity in a disordered world. Why it is disordered? Because so many wars are happening, and Trump under US US under Trump rather is very unpredictable. So that is what he is saying. And again, India's conscious engagement with Europe. G7 diplomacy. In the previous Hindu analysis, we have talked about G7 countries and their mnemonic Juice GF. Oh my God. So do remember Juice GF for G7 countries. Japan, US, this is not India, this is Italy, Canada, England, Germany and France. So we are engaging with G7, our External Affairs Minister Jayasankar sir. And again, please remember this, in your UPSC mains, you will never be using these abbreviations. No. The people who will be checking your mains answer, those people are very traditional in approach. Here we can do these abbreviation. There you have to write External Affairs Minister. Don't play with abbreviation. Good morning, Chandru. Good morning, Seeshan. Okay, so again, you can see here we are engaging with Europe, and even our Europe's import from India, that has increased. Our trade is going on an upward trajectory. Everything is good, and trade agreement stocks are also going on. So all these things are awesome, and we need to continue to build upon this particular alliance according to Shashi Tharoor. Europe's strategic reorientation. Now, Europe is focusing towards something called as strategic autonomy, which you will hear a lot in international relation. They can even ask you this whole definition. What is the basic meaning of strategic autonomy from European perspective? The meaning is, earlier Western European countries, they were very close to US. Now they have to have a rethink. They have to maintain their own autonomy as far as international affairs are concerned. So here in this particular slides, there are certain words which you have to use a lot and which can be asked in pre as well as mains. We'll have a look at that. Good morning, Shanmukha Poo. So again, what this Shashi Tharoor sir is saying, that countries like Canada, UK, Germany, France now seeking greater ties with powers like India because of unreliable leadership under Donald Trump. Donald Trump is like Hrithik Roshan of koi mil gaya, idhar chala main udhar chala. That means sometimes I'm going here, sometimes I'm going there. Oh my God. So Europe aims to emerge as an independent power center through strategic autonomy. Remember these words, strategic autonomy. Then there is another word, multi-alignment. So strategic autonomy from European perspective. They want to get rid of this too much reliance on US. India, we kept on talking about NAM, non-aligned movement. But according to Shashi Tharoor, whose English is awesome, we are moving from non-alignment to multi-alignment. These are the types of words which you will use in your mains answer when you're talking about India's international relation and what is India's current policy. So more from and according to Shashi Tharoor, you can also say that India is moving from non-alignment to multi-alignment. Oh my God. So yeah, let's focus. Reason it again. Shared commitment to, now these are all bold bachchan, you can read this. In pluralism, inclusive global governance, you can write it anywhere and everywhere. The two keywords here is strategic autonomy, multi-alignment, and used with like perspective of which particular region. Strategic autonomy, European countries, and multi-alignment, India. From non-alignment. And again, they're talking about, Shashi Tharoor is talking about India and EU, they are expanding their trade, this and that, bilateral relationships are growing. These are the facts and figures which you have to use in your exam. So, because you have to substantiate, only doing bol bachchan that India-EU relationship is going on an upward trajectory, this and that, you have to substantiate with facts. So, this is the first fact. EU FDI, foreign direct investment in India, rose by 70%. France investment rose 373%. So, these are all very good silver linings. EU imports from India doubled. But then there are certain contentious points also. Like EU, US, they're not very open towards India's services sector. Our students, they go there, they face issues. Our, let's say, IT professionals, they go there, H1B visa, etc. You may have heard about those issues. So the issues which are there in US, that persist even in European countries, Western European countries. So yeah. Good morning, Madhubala. Good morning, Risha. Okay, so EU imports, India-EU trade and investment agreements must be expedited. So in goods sector, when you read about balance of payment, and if you have read about it, so there is trade in goods, trade in services. So when it comes to trade in goods, we are awesome with EU. But the problem lies with trade in services when it comes to, people-to-people interaction. There is the problem. So now, this slide we have seen, and this is the focal point of this editorial. Editorial is awesome in mains perspective, like from mains perspective, but this is the core point which we have to focus on. IMEC, India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, envisaged in 2023 G20 Summit, if I'm not wrong. 2023 G20 Summit. As you can understand, three major players here, India, Middle East and Europe. Please understand from India's perspective, this is Western Europe, like Western Asia rather, not Middle East. Middle East, it is from Europe perspective. When they are looking at UAE, Saudi Arabia, etc., for them, it is Middle East. Japan is Far East. For us, this Middle East is West Asia. So sometimes it feels odd when you are saying West Asia as Middle East. But again, UPSC has even asked questions by terming or giving the coin or giving the term rather Middle East. So IMEC, what is the aim here? This is seen as an alternative to BRI. So China has this Belt and Road Initiative. They want to reinvigorate or reimagine the earlier Silk Route era. So alternative of BRI is seen, like IMEC is seen as an alternative to BRI. What will happen here, as the name suggests, let me show you certain stuff, then we'll have a discussion on this. So IMEC, this is 2023 G20 Summit, when IMEC was like, they thought about it, about the creation. They had a talk. You can see Bharat, oh my God, Bharat, Saudi Arab, European Commission, United States of America. So the people who are directly involved, US is not directly involved, but UAE is directly involved, Bharat or India is directly involved, Saudi Arab is directly involved, European Commission is directly involved. What is the purpose? To, in a way, as we have seen, it is an alternative to BRI. We have seen Middle East or West Asia for us will act as an intermediary from where we can send our goods and services to European countries. So it is promoted by US. It is also seen as an alternative to counter China and Chinese hegemony. So these are the points which are very important from exam perspective. Liliana, Kips. Okay. Now let's see the route and then we'll talk about all these things. So if you see this whole India, Middle East, European corridor. So it will start from, let's say, Bombay, Jawaharlal Nehru Port, and then there will be two routes. One is the water route, other is the road route, or you can use highways and railways here, as you can see. The major player involved are UAE. When you are talking about Middle East, UAE and Saudi Arab. They are the major players who are part of this IMEC. So UAE and Saudi Arab. And then even Greece, if you see this, if you pay attention, even Greece, even Italy, they are also supporting, and you will see that even Italy, they are also supporting it. So these are the countries which are important, and it will be ending at Marseille. Marseille is in France. So pay attention to this particular IMEC, and here they are also in the envisaging, apart from roadways, airways, and all, like roadways and waterways, hydrogen pipelines, but they're not talking about military bases or underground military bases, underwater military bases. That is not the plan. This is mainly from economic perspective as an alternative to BRI and also to counter Chinese hegemony. So remember these words, these are important words. Now let's again go back. Let's first read this IMEC and then we'll come back to the article. So what is IMEC? India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor Strategic Multinational Infrastructure Initiative. When was it introduced? They talked about it or announced 2023 G20 Summit. So these are keywords. India, Middle East, Europe, supported by US. So US, European Union, France, etc. They are supporting it. UAE, Saudi Arab, and then European countries like Greece, Italy, they are directly part of it. IMEC. Cool. 2023 G20 Summit. These are the keywords. Keep it in mind. Then there are different structures. Eastern Corridor and Northern Corridor. Again, if we go back and have a look at this particular IMEC map, so you will realize that this whole portion, this is the Eastern Corridor. This is Eastern Corridor of IMEC. And the other portion which you are seeing, which is going to Europe, that is the Northern Corridor. This is what they are talking about. This is Northern Corridor. Cool. Now let's come back. So Eastern Corridor, India, UAE, Saudi Arab, and Northern Corridor, Saudi Arab, Jordan, Israel, Europe. Now you can understand the issues here. We now know some things associated with this IMEC. What are the different objectives? Boost trade flows between Asia, Middle East, and Europe. Offer as an alternative to BRI. The problem is the instability or unstable scenario which is happening in Israel, Hamas war and all those things. So West Asia is not very stable right now, and that can impede the development. Plus where the money will come from. When you are talking about, I can't use Instagram. Do you have WhatsApp groups? Okay. I'm not on Instagram. I never use Instagram. I hate Instagram. I have a Telegram group. So you are saying you don't use Telegram. So you can ping me on LinkedIn. LAN. JH, right. So let's focus here. So the problem here is the unstable condition or the not so good condition of West Asia. Second, infrastructure, like money, from where the money will come from. So these are some major points. Fine. Promote energy transport, strengthen geopolitical ties. So these are some aim of this particular corridor. Now let's go back. Let's go back to Shashi Tharoor and his editorial. So this India, Middle East, European Corridor 2023, remember the keywords, envisaged as a modern Silk Route to counter BRI. Cool. It promotes. Again, you can read all these things. India and Europe share a vision of technology. They are cooperating on clean energy, biotech, ocean sustainability. So when you will write mains answer and you have to write India-European cooperation, you can make this kind of a diagram and you can use these points like this. You know, it will save your time. Bol bachan, you can do it like this. Cool. Again, human mobility, this is the problem. A comprehensive mobility agreement is vital for exchanging talent. As we have discussed, when it comes to trade in goods and services, goods is fine. In services, we are facing issues. So why you hate Instagram? Because see, there are too many reels on Instagram. We already have YouTube. Why should we have Instagram? So defense and security cooperation, scope for joint, again, you can read all these things, opportunities in maritime sector, Europe, and now, again, we are talking about the good things with Europe. Our trade is increasing, this and that. And again, IMEC is one silver lining. But what are the cons part? The cons part is the services part. The human exchange or the mobility agreement part. The con part is they are not talking too much about Pakistan-backed extremism. So these are the con part. When you are making notes on India-Europe relationship, these are the con part which you also have to write. Because as a civil servant, you need to know both the pros and cons. Very good. Cool. So again, upholding a rule-based order, India and Europe as middle powers should safeguard global rule and stability. If they come together, they can shape multilateral platforms according to Shashi Tharoor sir. UNWTO Quad. In the previous Hindu analysis, we have discussed Quad. How many countries are there in Quad? Quadrilateral, 4 countries. What is the mnemonic I have given you earlier? JUS. Oh my God. Japan, Australia, India and USA. Remember these mnemonics. They help you a lot in understanding things in a better manner. What is my Telegram channel name? I will give my life for you, Appu. What? Telegram channel is a very small thing. This is my Telegram channel. At the starting only I stated people, we have to do a lot of stuff today. So let's be serious. Fun study with Shubh. Come and join me here. You can also join me on LinkedIn and you can post direct message here on LinkedIn, wherever you want to, because these are the only 2 places where I am. I'm on this Telegram channel, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm not on Instagram, I deactivated my Facebook account. I don't like these things. Cool. Now let's focus. And I'm EC, we have talked about it, so I'm not reading it again. Honorable PM Modi sir. Bharat or India? What do you prefer more? What is your view on this? Post it in the comment section. Do you like Bharat more or do you like India more? Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's solve some questions now. First question, MCQ 1. Welcome, Apu. In our time, there used to be an actor. His name was Kamal Hassan. There was a movie of his, if I'm not wrong. Appu Raja. Very awesome movie. Something like that. Maybe I'm telling the name wrong, but awesome movie. Appu Raja. So strategic autonomy in the European context primarily refers to what? Total military independence from NATO, reduction of dependence on US and assertion of independent foreign policy, complete neutrality in international conflict, establishing a separate European currency. India, that is Bharat, shall be union of state. Oh my God, Anandu, you are so intelligent, just like a wow. So, strategic autonomy, that was talked about from European perspective. Multi-alignment from our perspective. Shashi Tharoor sir is good in making these words. So the answer is B, reduction of dependence as stated by so many of you. You people are awesome, just like a wow. Let's talk about this. MCQ 2. Which of the following components are included in IMEC infrastructure plan? India, Middle East, European corridor. What are the parts? And for solving this question, try option elimination. Option elimination helps. So railway, hydrogen, submarine data cables, underwater, we have discussed no military bases. We'll talk about something related to military today, but this is not military bases. So there is no military basis. Waterways, roadways, rail network, hydrogen pipeline, all these things will be there, but no military bases. This is gandi baat, gandi baat. That means this is the bad stuff. So eliminate 4 and you will get the answer, that is A, 1, 2 and 3 only, as stated by Risha, Liliana, Chandru, Madhubala, Rishi, Himani, Rajni, Apu, Shirshan, Anandu and so many other people. Cool. A, 1, 2 and 3 only. MCQ 3. IMEC is often seen as an alternative to which of the following initiatives? So what is hydrogen pipeline? So hydrogen is a clean energy. Hydrogen pipelines are those pipelines which will be transferring hydrogen from the place where it is produced to the place where it will be used. That is hydrogen pipelines. That can be underwater also, Chandru. So IMEC is often seen as an alternative to Belt and Road Initiative as stated by all of you. You people are awesome, just like a wow. Very good. Let's talk about the second article of the day, which is again an editorial, page number 8, editorial. Women, STEAM careers and a more receptive industry. So again, I think on July 11, we talked about World Population Day. So today is July 15. This is World Youth Skills Day. UPSC don't ask these days. Other exams does. But you never know with UPSC. Maybe I'm saying it does not ask these days. Maybe sometime they will ask. So now, important from exam perspective. Why? Because it is talking about STEAM. Science like science, technology, engineering and maths. How many women are like a part of it? How much are getting jobs? Then there will be certain schemes. PM Vishwakarma Yojana. What is Vishwakarma Yojana? There are so many things. There are so many keywords here. Periodic labor force survey report. Then what is female labor force participation rate. So female labor force participation rate means female above, aged above 15 or more. Please pay attention to these numbers. 15 or more who are not only working, but who are also willing to work. So that is female labor force participation rate. If I just change it to labor force participation rate, that means people who are not only working, but who are also willing to work. So many people have this confusion that people who are working, that will be in the labor force participation rate. No, even if you're willing to work but you're not getting the job, you will be under this labor force participation rate. So keep it in mind. Good morning, Mamta. Fine. Vishwakarma artisan. Very good, Madhubala. So let's focus on this article. Let's focus on the keywords which are there. Significance of World Youth Skill Day, July 15, highlights the importance of skill development. Our honorable government, they have started Skill India mission, this mission, that mission. And again, STEAM paradox. So here there are certain facts and figures which you can use in GS Mains paper 1 when it comes to women related issue, GS Mains paper 2 when it comes to, vulnerable sections. Women is a part of that vulnerable section. I was reading a news, there was a girl who committed suicide 1 or 2 days back in Delhi, and Signature Bridge or something from Tripura. Some Devnath, her name was. So sad. Suicide is never the option. You have to outlive your enemies. So again, 43% of STEAM graduates in India are women. 43% are women. How many are getting jobs? 27%. So there is a discrepancy. And there is a tendency also. There are so many different companies, tech or non-tech, who are like, we will not employ women. There is this convention among people that, okay, we will just employ men, we will not employ women. So all these factors are leading to this particular gap. PLFS, Periodic Labour Force Survey Report. Now, we have discussed this. Please pay attention to these keywords. UPSC has asked questions directly on these keywords. Female labor force participation rate, a female aged 15 or above, working or willing to work. So you can see here 41%. Rural women, they are getting more work because they are willing to do even, this, we call it menial works, or you can understand, they can go to agricultural fields, they can do the works. So 47.6%. Urban women lesser. Indicates, now remember these, they can give you that urban women, they are getting more job. You'll be like, okay, in urban areas we have more employment opportunity. That is not the case. Thank you, JH. I like you so much. I have been to Aizawl once. Awesome place on a Sunday. So I did not get anything to eat because everything was closed. I still want to go to Aizawl again. Okay, let's focus here. So global gender disparity in STEAM. UNESCO is saying that 31.5% of global researchers are women. So barriers are systemic. It's not like they don't have skill, they are not educated enough. But then there are issues when they enter the workforce and sometimes they leave it. And then there are issues when they are pregnant and they want to again enter the post-pregnancy phase. My sister is going through that phase, so I can tell you from personal experience. So there are systemic barriers which are there. Industry is well positioned to help address these gaps. Okay. So now economic potential, McKinsey, World Bank, these are the data which you will be using to substantiate why gender inclusivity is important, why we have to bridge global, like whatever global gender gap reports are saying, what will be the impact on different economy, be it Indian economy or world economy. Okay, sir. Oh my God, exactly. So McKinsey is saying that if you add 68 million women into India's workforce, $700 billion you can add to your GDP by 2025. This is about India. World Bank is saying that achieving 50% female workforce participation could boost GDP growth by 1%. So again, these are substantial numbers which you will be using to substantiate your point. NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020, which replaced National Education Policy 1986, which came after the recommendation of K. Kasturi Rangan. Again, these are the facts which you have to keep in mind. They are also promoting science, technology, engineering and maths education. Ministry of Education, again you can read. These are the points which you will talk about. What is government doing to promote STEAM education, to promote women's participation in STEAM? Then you will talk about Skill India program, etc., etc. Investment in ITIs, rural skilling programs. All these things are happening, which is good. Skill India mission, Digital India, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and then PM Vishwakarma Yojana. So what is this PM Vishwakarma Yojana? As I think somebody was saying, who was saying? Madhubala. Madhubala is a very good person. So PM Vishwakarma Yojana is about artisans, craftsmen, potters, carpenters. So there the focus is to cater to these people, to ensure if they have some financial gaps, etc., to cater to those gaps. So PM Vishwakarma, artisan, craftsmen, there are around 18 plus these people, these artisans whom government is catering to. It's not like specifically to women it is, but yes, under Skill India mission, this PM Vishwakarma Yojana has been launched, and they are catering to women also. That is what the author is saying. Yet government alone, action alone is insufficient. Industry must step up. Okay, sir. Pay attention to the keywords. I will tell you what are the keywords which are important. Industry is key to changing perception. Mechanical is masculine. And again, there are other theories also that we will employ only male people. They can come even in the evening. Female will have issues. So there are certain, thinking gap also which you can say. I don't know how to put it that way. Hope you are understanding. So women leaves team not due to inability but due to unwelcoming environments and social norms, and that has to change. Again, now let's focus on the keyword. UN Women. So this is an organization under United Nations which was created in 2010. UN Women. Under UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, they created this specific organization catering to the needs and aspirations and objectives of, or desires of women. They have launched this particular V-STEAM program in India with the help of this Micron Foundation, which is doing philanthropy. And it has been launched in Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat to ensure that more and more women are part of this STEAM program, and they are not only getting the education, they are also becoming a part of the workforce. So do remember UN Women 2010 V-STEAM program. They have collaborated with what? Micron Foundation. So these are again keywords. Oh my God, it's a right initiative. I'm NEP batch student, sir. Very good, Appu. Cool. So let's focus. UN again. Let's go back and let's not go back, let's move forward. So partnership with educational institution. Again, the Bol Bachchan is going on here. Broader impact. This you will write in the conclusion part. Whenever any issue related to women come, these things can be used in the conclusion part. Empowered women create impact on not just economically, but across families, industries and policies. This is a fodder which can be used anywhere and everywhere in conclusion. Their voice is central to building an inclusive, developed India. Very good. Let's focus on some questions. Which of the following statement is correct regarding FLFPR in India as per PLFS 23-24? Very good, Appu. Where are you from, Appu? Are you from Telangana or Andhra Pradesh or some other region? So female labor force participation rate. What is the correct figure? And yes, sir and ma'am, if you feel like I'm contributing to your knowledge base, like, share and subscribe. 44 people watching. Up until now, only 19 likes. You people are so bad. Just like not a wow. Okay, so we have discussed this female labor force participation rate. Have you people given the answer? Samriddhi has given the answer. Madhubala, Jeevayan, Risha, Liliana. So we have discussed like rural FLFPR, that is more. Female labor force participation in rural areas is more than urban areas. This is the point which you have to keep in mind. So the answer is D. If you don't remember where we have discussed this, go back and revise it. These facts and figures, they are very important. See this? This is what they are talking about in this MCQ or that particular MCQ. MCQ 5. PM Vishwakarma Yojana primarily aims to support which of the following groups? Karnataka, oh my God, KGF. Yash. There is a movie of Yash which will be coming, Ramayana. He will be acting as Ravana. Karnataka, Kannada movies. Earlier I used to think, why there are not so many Kannada movies? We talk about Tamil movies, Telugu movies. But after Kantara, KGF, Kannada movies are back with a bang. If you follow regional movies, you know what I mean. In my college days, I used to watch Arya 2, Telugu movies. Now I've started watching Kannada. Kantara's last 15-20 minutes is awesome. Okay, PM Vishwakarma Yojana, IT professionals, agricultural laborers, traditional artisans and craftspeople, women entrepreneurs in urban areas only. The answer is traditional artisans and craftspeople, as stated by so many of you. You people are awesome, just like a wow. MCQ 6. UN Women was established in which particular year? UN Women. When did UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, establish this? Very good, Mahalakshmi. UN Women. Priya, don't be late every day. Everybody is missing you so much. Oh my God. So UN Women was established in 2010. Yeah. So Rishi is doing the work for me. So 2010, and again, all of you, like many of you, have seen all the movies of Arya. Very good, Mamta. But right now, focus on studies. Let's talk about the third article of the day, which is there on page number 14. Center defends new coal plant rules, cause them cost effective. What is this issue all about? For that, we have to do a recap. If you people, like there are people like Rishi who has been following me from a very long period. So if you know, like today is 15 July 2025, let's go backwards. Hindu analysis of 16th June 2025, almost 1 month back, we have done the Hindu analysis. This was the article, page number 10. What are flue gas desulfurization units? We have talked about this. So what are these flue gas desulfurization units? They are the desulfurization, or they are the systems which will remove SO2, or which will convert SO2 into harmful pollutants. And these SO2s, it's a very potent, you know, greenhouse gas, and it has so many, like it creates and causes respiratory issues, and it's bad in so many different ways, and it has to be installed in coal-fired thermal power plants. These earlier flue gas desulfurization units. Then government came with a mandate that only in certain areas it is needed, other areas it is not needed. That led to large hue and cry. So we'll do this recap, then you will understand this whole issue, this whole article, the current article which is there, and what center is saying, and then we'll try to understand center's point of view, why they are not forcing this FGD in these coal plants. Environment anyway is very important from every perspective. Hello Mansi, we have with us Alok Ojha sir. So when you come, you remind me of Alok Ojha sir. Mansi Ojha. Okay, so let's focus. So first of all, let's do the recap. How many of you were with me on 16th June 2025 when we have discussed this article? I made a separate video on this also. Flue gas desulfurization unit. This is the previous 16th June article. We'll come to the current article. That was what, like, why we have read about this on 1 month back. Because again, you can see here, principal scientific advisor, he said that we should end this policy where it was mandatory for coal-fired thermal power plants to to install this flue gas desulfurization, which will convert SO2 into harmful products, means harmless products rather. So FGD units remove sulfur dioxide from flue gas. Flue gas has been created, let's say coal, C plus O2, CO2. Chemistry is not that simple. So when carbon reacts with different things, so many byproducts are formed. Flue gas is one such byproduct. In this flue gas, sulfur dioxide is there, and sulfur dioxide is not very good for us. Oh my god. So flue gas has, like, this sulfur dioxide has to be removed from flue gas. So that's why it is known as flue gas desulfurization. We want to remove this SO2, which is which has been created from, which is a byproduct of flue gas, which in itself is a byproduct of these fossil fuel or coal-fired thermal power plants. Hope you are understanding some part of it. Kannada is an old language in the Dravidian language. Very good, yeah. So let's focus. So type of FGDs: dry sorbent, wet limestone, seawater treatment. How will you remove SO2? You know, in which scenario you will be reacting with limestone, CSU3 and other things also. So there were different types of FGDs. You can go back to 16th June Hindu analysis to read more about it. This is not the premise. The premise is to tell you that this news is coming again after 1 month with new additions. Oh my god. So why is SO2 dangerous? Contributes to global warming. UPSC has already asked a PYQ on SO2, which we have solved in that analysis. Leads to formation of PM 2.5. Study shows 15% of India's. Now PM 2.5, this is particulate matter of 2.5 micron something length, which will enter into your lungs and which will impact you in so many different ways. And SO2 contributes to it. But now you will understand certain things. So let's say you have 100 unit of PM 2.5. 15 is due to coal. And even in this 15, 80% is due to SO2. That means if there is 100 PM 2.5 unit, 12 is coming from SO2, sulfur dioxide. And that's why we have to get rid of SO2, because this can impact our health in so many different ways. Cool. I'm from Odisha and not a UPSC aspirant, but the way you teach, it really outstands. Thank you so much for your efforts. Thank you, Oja. Thank you so much. Okay, let's not fight over Tamil and Kannada, guys. We already had these fights a lot earlier. Let's focus here. Status of FGDs. Flue gas desulfurization unit, very important to remove SO2, and that's why in 2015 government said that all these coal-fired thermal power plants which releases flue gas, which in turn contains SO2, has to have FGD units. Then initial deadline was 2018. As it happens in our country, this deadline was extended. As of August 2024, only 39 plants were having FGD units out of 537. Why? Because these FGDs are very, very expensive. And then December 2024, this deadline was extended by 3 more years without explanation. And now in 2025, they are saying that let's do away with this FGD. And now when you will read the current article, you will understand government stance and how it makes sense. There are so many, again, keywords which are important from every exam perspective, especially UPSC. So why are FGDs controversial? Costly. That's why they were not installing it. Concerned over increasing electricity tariffs and all those stuff. Experts argue FDG only increased tariff. Again, you can read these things. You can go back to 16 June Hindu analysis. There is no alternative to FDGs according to the previous article which we have read. And that's why many people were like, if government is doing away with these FGDs, in a way they are promoting, you know, the growth of SO2, sulfur dioxide. Why is government doing that? And that led to the discussion of that like whole thing, economic development versus environmental conservation, which we keep on talking about, that government is promoting economic development over environmental conservation. But as you will see in the present article, that is not the case. And when we talk about this whole thing, that government is giving prominence to economic development over environmental conservation, we say that there is a midpoint where these two things can meet. They don't always have to fight with each other. And that midpoint is SD, sustainable development. So now in the present article, you will see center's argument, why they want to get rid. You both are linguistic. Okay. How about a cup of coffee? Mishra ji. For fights, we have very good politicians to fight. Let's focus here. So now let's come to the present article. What center is saying, why they are defending this new coal plant rules that they don't need to have FGDs, flue gas desulfurization. And when I was reading this article today, I will be very honest with you. When this thing happened 1 month back, I was also not very happy. I was like, no, this is not a good thing. Flue gas desulfurization unit has to be there. But after this today's article, I am convinced that whatever center is doing, that is actually good. That's what happens when you read new stuff. So let's see what center stance is. So MOEFCC, Ministry of Environment and Forest, they are saying that exempting most thermal power plants from installing FGD units is a scientifically justified policy. Focus here. They are not saying all thermal power plants they don't have to install. There are certain areas and there are certain cities which are polluted because which are extremely polluted. So their FGDs will be needed, but not in all scenarios. And it is not needed. It's scientifically justified. Here's center out right now. Okay. So purpose of FGD. FGDs are used to reduce SO2 as we have discussed, and 2015 mandate was all thermal power plants, they have to install FGDs because they release flue gas which contains SO2, and SO2 is harmful as we have seen. Now let's see. As of now, only 8% of India's 180 coal-based thermal power plants have installed FGD. We have seen it in the previous article. Why? Because it's very expensive. And multiple extension has happened. That also we have seen in the last 16th June analysis. Limited availability, high cost. New order. See, the current order is not saying no thermal power plant will have FGD. What they're saying, 22% of the plants, specifically those located in cities with a history of poor air quality, they will need to have FGDs. Not all. Because what we have seen is, it doesn't impact so much. And you will understand. Just see the points here. Ministry stated that India's ambient SO2 level are declining. Ambient SO2 level means the SO2 level which is there in the surrounding areas, which is there in the environment, it is anyway decreasing because our air quality standard as far as SO2 is concerned is very high. You may feel like, sir, ha ha ha, very good joke. This is not ha ha ha. This is actually a very proud thing to feel about. You see this? India's annual SO2 standard, how much SO2 we allow in the environment is 50 microgram per meter cube. Japan has 66, EU has 52, Australia has 66. Our standard is anyway very strict. And there are very few cities which is, bypassing the standard. So we are already doing very good when it comes to curbing SO2 emission. You'll be like, sir, and welcome Liliana. You'll be like, sir, if it is so good, why we are having so much pollution? Pollution is not only about SO2. Pollution is a much bigger concept. SO2 is a subset of it. And as far as SO2 is concerned and India's standard is concerned, we are much better than Japan, EU and Australia, according to ministry. How much implementation is happening, that's a different matter altogether. But these are the points which you have to write. So again, ministry stated that India's, you see these points. SO2 has a limited role in PM 2.5. Again, if you go back to the recap portion, what we have discussed, if there are 100 units of PM 2.5, 15 are coming from coal, and out of those 15, 12 are coming from SO2. So 12% of PM 2.5 is because of SO2. That's not much. So 87.5% of PM 2.5 is because of some other reasons. FGD mandates high cost, we have discussed. Therefore, universal FGD installation is not cost effective. They are saying that it's not needed everywhere. They have limited efficiency. They are too costly. We are anyway doing very good when it comes to curbing SO2, how much SO2 we can allow in the environment. There are only 2 cities which have gone beyond this particular standard. Those 2 cities are Dehradun and Kolar. So Kolar, I think one of my friend or our friend is from Karnataka. So Kolar Goldfield and there are. Well, I was very surprised. Why is Dehradun having more, this, they are exceeding this national SO2 standard. Then I researched on Dehradun. Then I realized the peculiarity of Dehradun, like, temperature inversion, it's a valley region. Then there are so many industries, slowly and gradually it's developing and industries are being set up. But one of the major reason is temperature inversion. Temperature inversion. You will read about this in geography. Because it is in a valley region, not very far away from the hills, they encounter a concept known as temperature inversion. I cannot tell you this whole temperature inversion concept in this, this current affairs lecture. But basically what happens in summer, how can I tell you? Temperature inversion is a concept. Like in summer, what happens? The air is hot, warmer. So air is hot, warmer, it's light, it goes up and it goes to different areas. But in winter, the air is cold. So the warmer air is lighter, it rises up and it goes away. You must have thought about this. Why in winter only we have this pollution crisis in Delhi? Why not in summer? Like everything becomes hunky-dory in summer, all the vehicles have gone away, stubble burning does not happen at all in Punjab, Haryana. The reason is in summer, the air is hotter. Even the polluted air is hotter, it's lighter, and it will go to surrounding adjacent areas. And that's why you're not having too much pollution. But in winter, the air is colder or the cooler. Cooler air is not lighter. So it will remain in that particular region, confined to that region. It will keep on growing with each passing day. And that's why the pollution does not die down. So temperature inversion is related to that cooler phenomena, where the cooler air is, below the warmer air and it is not going anywhere and it is continuously building up. So that phenomena is very prominent in Dehradun, because of which SO2 becomes higher than national SO2. Hope you're understanding what we are discussing here. Exactly, Jivayan and AC drain. All girls are Rishi, you are a brahmacharya. You will not be talking about any girls. Smoke due to high pressure. Okay, which always comes down. Cool, sir. So coal characteristics, Indian coal has low sulfur content. Now the second point. First point was we are doing awesome when it comes to national SO2 standard, annual SO2 standard. The second thing is our coal is doing the work for us. In general, the other high quality coal, they have like other coals of different countries, they have high sulfur content. We have high ash content, which is not very good when it comes to quality of coal, but we have low sulfur content. So we don't need to worry too much about SO2 emission per se, according to government. No major difference found. This is the third point. So please pay attention to center stance. First point, our annual SO2 standard better than Japan, Australia and others. Second point, our coal, they have low sulfur content. Third point, no significant difference in SO2 levels between cities which has FGD, flue gas desulfurization units, and which does not. So these are the 3 points which you will use to justify why center is doing away with these FGDs in most coal-fired thermal power plants, not all. Hope you are understanding again. Oh my God, I speak so much. Cost versus benefit. Even in UPSC, you talk about ROI. What will be the return if I'm reading a particular topic, world history, etc. Similarly, here the ROI of FGD is not great. And new regulation. Under the revised rule, they are not saying do away with everything. Only 11% of India's 600 thermal power plants must mandatorily install FGD. So they have to install if the city's air quality is poor enough, but not all. No, Rishi, I am just kidding, bro. So your voice quality is super. Thank you, Appu. Sometimes I feel like I want to become a stand-up comedian. Then some of my students told me, sir, no, sir, no, sir. These days the environment is very bad. Don't be a stand-up comedian. People will file FIR against you. I was like, yes, yes, yes. No stand-up comedy. Then I thought that, okay, let's do stand-up comedy in Hindu analysis only. MCQ 7. What is the primary purpose of FGD units in thermal power plants? This is One of the most important article of today's Hindu. You have to revise it. You know it is important when this news was there 1 month back, and again government is giving clarification on this. So this is very important from every exam perspective. Oh my god, my voice is gone. Every exam perspective, especially UPSC. So the answer is to cut SO2 emissions. That was MCQ 7. MCQ 8. Which of the following statement is correct regarding Indian coal as per the article? Thank you, Rose. It has high sulfur and low ash content. Ash reminds me of Ravichandran Ashwin. You know, in our time there used to be a bowler. Then he was forced to retire in Australian series when even Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma were not performing. I so hate that. So, oh my god. So again, it has low sulfur and high ash content. It has high sulfur and this and that. So the answer is our Indian coal, they have high ash content and low sulfur. So the answer is B, as stated by so many of you. Hello, Ankit sir. Okay, let's move on. So yes, if you feel like I'm adding anything to your knowledge base, like, share, subscribe, kill it, bros. Okay, let's move on to the next article. Page number 16, Australia host large. Now, this article I think was there 2-3 days back also. So there I was searching for most important articles and I was like, oh my god, I'm missing this article, I'm missing this article. But as I have told you earlier, it happens with any newspaper, Hindu Indian Express, the good newspapers actually. I'm not saying Times of India is bad, but Hindu Indian Express matters more from UPSC perspective. The articles will be repeated if it is important enough. So again, this article has repeated. China is very, very wary of it. They have employed surveillance ship nearby region of Australia to see what is happening. So this is a very, very interesting thing. This exercise Talisman Subray, which was initially a biennial exercise between US and Australia. So biennial means it used to happen every 2 years, this whole Talisman Subray. Now, and it was only involving US and Australia. This time, more than 15 plus countries, including India, they are participating in this Talisman Subray. China is like, oh my god, these countries, they are plotting against me, they want to attack me, this and that. So China is again employing surveillance and this and that, and Australia is confirming this fact that yes, China is using spy drones, this and that, to look into what is happening in this Talisman Subray. Now there are certain keywords again in this article which are very important from exam perspective. Like there was one interesting word which I was looking into, and because we all are inquisitive, right? So rocket and missile. If I ask you right now, here it is written HIMARS rocket are fired as part of the Talisman Subray war fighting exercise. If I ask you just simple thing, what is the basic difference between rocket and missile? Rocket versus missile. Tell me. You people can write in the chat box, other people who will watch it later on. So yeah. So rocket versus missile. What is the basic difference between them? Okay, let's talk about this article. Once you have written your points, I will tell you the basic difference. There can be so many other points. There is one basic difference between rocket and missile. So exercise Talisman Subray, largest ever war fighting drills in Australia are currently underway. Who is sweating because of it? China. So Chinese spy ships are expected to monitor the exercise as they have in the past. Started with US and Australia, it was a biennial exercise. So these are again keywords which you have to keep in mind. Biennial means happening every 2 years. Oh my god. Okay. So yeah. So HIMARS missile launch. Again, there is a keyword here. High mobility artillery rocket system, HIMARS. UPSC has asked earlier about THAAD, THAAD. So this HIMARS is also important. See here. This is HIMARS. And again, this is HIMARS rockets, they are fired. So as we were discussing the difference between rocket and missile, and I am not seeing any answer telling me what is the difference between rocket and missile. Let me wait for 1 or 2 minutes. So this HIMARS, Australia has taken it from or acquired it from United States. They have taken it. Projectile motion. Anandu is saying projectile motion. Okay, cool. Now this HIMARS, if I give you some more points related to this high mobility artillery rocket system, US has given it to Australia. US has also given it to Ukraine. It was used in Russia-Ukraine war. Ukraine used it against Russia and they were very successful in it. And that's why this HIMARS has become very, it's in news right now. So you have to keep it in mind. Now, what they will use it for? They will use it for launching rockets and missiles. Now, what is the difference between rocket and missile? Rishi is saying something. Rockets are primarily used for space exploration and launching payloads into space, while missiles are weapon warheads to specific targets. As Rishi has stated, that is actually correct. Understand one thing. There is, like in CSAT, you read about Venn diagrams, subset, superset, this and that. So, if I have to just differentiate rockets and missiles, I will just make this diagram. Rockets, missiles. So what do I mean by that? All missiles are rockets, but not vice versa. So all missiles are rocket means the features which rockets have, that they have a path which can be guided, which can be unguided. So all missiles are rockets. So when you fire a missile, that is one type of rocket. But as I think Rishi was saying, rockets are also used for non-military purposes. Missiles are used for military purposes, right? But you can have rockets. You can have rockets which you're using for space exploration. We have rockets like PSLV, GSLV. So this polar satellite launch vehicle, geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle, GSLV, they are rockets which are used for non-military purposes. So missile is one type of a rocket which is used for military purpose. If you have to differentiate it in simplest word, that is the basic difference which you have to keep in mind. Rocket, research, missile, war. Very good, Chivayan. Hope you understood some part of it. So all missiles are rockets, but not all rockets are missile. Keep it in mind. Chepandis. Okay. So today we have not done Chepandis, Cheputil, Suledu, Kadu. Oh my God. So location, live fire exercises took place in Shoal Water Bay. Now this is also important. Training area, they can say, like we have talked about Sierra Leone in the previous Hindu analysis, because one of their islands will be submerged very soon. 2/3 has been submerged. Similarly, they can ask you Shoal Water Bay, where is it? In which particular country or where it is located. Bay, Gulf, Strait, Isthmus, this we have discussed. Strait, narrow water body connecting two larger water bodies. Isthmus, narrow landmass connecting two larger landmass. Bay and Gulf, the definition is same. Water body mainly surrounded by land from three sides. Oh my God, remember it. So Talisman Sabre started in 2005 as a biennial exercise. Once in 2 years, remember it. They will say that it is an annual exercise, triennial exercise. No, it's a biennial exercise. Cool. Participation, 35,000 military personnel from 19 nations. Is India participating in it? Yes. For the first time, not only in Australia, above Australia, there is an island country, Papua New Guinea. Even in Papua New Guinea, they are having this exercise, and that's why China is sweating so much. So this is the first time. As we have discussed earlier, anything first time is very important. Your first love, your first crush, first time seeing someone outside your window. So for the first time, part of the exercise is being held outside Australia in the Papua New Guinea region. So keep it in mind. Surveillance by China. China is surveilling this whole thing. China is like, I don't like China. Do you like China? Australian Defence Minister Pat Conroy, he has confirmed similar surveillance is expected this time as it was happening earlier. Let's solve some questions. Consider the following statements about exercise Talisman Sabre. I don't like China. So exercise Talisman Sabre, it's not an annual exercise, it's a biennial exercise. Biennial. Once every 2 years. There was a time when I used to, like Rishi, Anandu, Madhubala, Rishi, Mamta, Liliana, Himani, Rajni, Shirshan. Okay. So first statement is wrong. If first is wrong, eliminate BCD, you are getting the answer 2-3. 2025 edition. Participation over 15 countries, around 19 they are participating, so 19 is over 15. Papua New Guinea hosted parts of the exercise for the first time. So A, 2 and 3, very good. MCQ 10, which of the following countries, Himani, Rajni, Shir, Sanjiva and Appu, Samriddhi, which of the following countries participated in the 2025 exercise talisman summary. India, Japan, China and UK. What we have discussed just now. This whole thing has been done by, oh my god, how many of you have answered? Liliana has answered it. Rose. Such a nice name. Madhubala, Mamta, Sri, Durga, Chelu, Rishi, Niharika, Jivayan, Sirsan, Swastika, Himani, Rajneesh. China is not liking it. It's actually done to counter Chinese hegemony. Like we were talking about India, Middle East, European corridor. So why will China participate, bro? If they will participate, why will they will do the surveillance? So third is wrong. If you eliminate third, you're getting the answer A. 1, 2 and 4 only. Very good. Let's talk about the next article of the day. This is an article, again, Kaziranga National Park. Famous for its rhinos, Kaziranga records high diversity of grassland birds in survey. Cool, sir. Now, grasslands. What are those lands? Those lands where you are finding, like, grasses are growing in large number. So, if grasses are growing, then, like, is the rainfall high or low? If the rainfall would have been very high, the grasses would not have remained grasses. You know, so many trees would have cropped up there. So grasslands, they are generally water deficient, but like it's not like they're always totally water deficient. There can be different types of grasslands, you know, wet grassland, dry grassland, tropical grassland, temperate grassland, steppe, prairies, pampas. They were in school NCRTs, we used to remember those grassland. So here, when we are talking about Kaziranga, which is so diverse, Assam, it has wet grassland. So wet grassland does not mean it has equatorial type of rainfall. No, it receives rainfall. It receives moderate rainfall. Wet grassland. But Kaziranga is very big. It has different kind of region. It has wetland. It has grassland. It has everything. So Kaziranga is awesome. Low rain, no trees. Very good. So now in the previous, again, Hindu analysis, we have talked about this tiger reserve. Kaziranga is also a tiger reserve. It was designated a tiger reserve in 2000s. So Kaziranga always remains in news some way or the other. You have to keep it in mind. Also, this particular map, you have to keep on looking at it like you are looking at your girlfriend or boyfriend picture. Just love it. And love it more. Boyfriend and girlfriend can wait. Your career will not. This time is not coming back. So focus on your studies. Girlfriend, boyfriend. Okay, let's focus. So first, grassland bird survey in Kaziranga. First, again, anything first important. So here we'll talk about different birds and their IUCN status. The IUCN, we have talked about IUCN, you know, NGO established in 1940s, late 1940s, headquarters in Gland, Switzerland. UPSC has asked PYQs on it. We'll solve one PYQ related to that as well. Debt trap policy, very bad policy. Okay, so let's focus here. And again, here there will be different birds. The critically endangered, endangered and the vulnerable ones, they are important. The most important, critically endangered. Please don't forget them. So again, carried out by team of this and that, 43 grassland bird species were recorded across Kaziranga's 3 wildlife divisions. Now, critically endangered, Bengal florican, endangered, Finns weaver. They have talked about something related to Finns weaver, Tukura choari. My Assamese friend, pardon me for the Assamese part, Ami tumake bhalobashi, but that's Bengali. I don't know how to call I love you in Assamese. I know it in Telugu, I've told you. So my Assamese friend, please write it in the comment section. So observed as Tukura choari, observed like breeding, you can see here, and considered a vital. Now this is an important point. What is the meaning of the term? That it is a vital indicator of grassland health. So if Finns weaver, which is an endangered species, if it is found in a particular grassland, that means that grassland is healthy and wealthy. But if it is not there, that means that grassland is declining and maybe it will become a desert soon. So yeah, it's considered a vital indicator. So these kind of species, they are also known as indicator species. When you will read environment, you will read these kind of terms: indicator species, niche species, keystone species. So keep it in mind, very important. Conservation initiative launched in 73. As of early 2025, there are 56 tiger reserves spread across the country, largest being Nagarjuna Sagar Sri Shasalam Tiger Reserve. Very good. Rishi is so good. Kadikare, pollination. Okay. Ecological importance, you can read all these things. Kaziranga's bird. Now, please understand, this is a wet grassland. They can tell you that in Kaziranga's dry grassland, this first bird survey happened. Oh my God. No, this is not a dry grassland, bro. Kaziranga, northeastern India, anyway, is never dry. So this is a wet grassland. It's a grassland, does not receive as much rainfall as, let's say, a tropical rainforest do, but it's a wet grassland. Dry grassland, you will find it in, let's say, Rajasthan or Gujarat region, not here. So Kaziranga's bird diversity can now be compared with that of Gujarat and Rajasthan, dry grasslands. So these words, they will make sense to you if you have read geography, which I believe many of you have already done. Release bag, and you can read all these things. Now, let's focus on like this tiger reserve. Have a look at it. Earlier also, I think we have talked about Sariska. Sariska we have talked about in like within the last 1 month only. So these are important. Satkoshia also was in news not long time back. So keep it in mind, sir and ma'am. Dampa, UPSC has already asked a PYQ on Mizoram Dampa, which we have solved in the previous Hindu analysis. Oh my God. Let's solve some question. MCQ 11. Himas gained global attention for its use in Gulf War, Vietnam War, Ukraine conflict, Syrian civil war. Madhubala, Samriddhi, HIMARS gained global attention for its use in Ukraine. Just like US has given HIMARS to Australia, they have also given it to Ukraine. Ukraine is used. Oh my God, you can see a dichotomy of India here. India is participating in this exercise, and India's one of the best friend, Russia. This HIMARS was used against Russia. So see how much India is balancing all these ties. So Ukraine conflict. See, as stated by Madhubala, Samriddhi, Niharika, Mamta, Swastika, Himani, Jivayan and Rajneesh. You people are so good. Just like a wow. PYQ 12, UPSC 2015. This question I am giving you because we have discussed IUCN earlier. Use option elimination and try to solve this question. Chepandis. Chepandis fast. That means tell me fast. D option is 1, 2 and 3. I love Russia and Ukraine. You love them both. If Ukraine hears that you love Russia, Rishi, you will be gone. So Swastika has given the answer. IUCN. Is it an organization of UN? We have talked about this multiple number of times. Please don't be a gajani, short time memory loss. Remember stuff. It's like, oh my God, sir, I forgot. No, it's not an organ of UN. Even when we were talking about the IUCN, I told you multiple number of times, it's a UPSC PYQ. Okay, so first is wrong. If first is wrong, you don't know anything about sites. This is your homework. You have to research on sites. But this particular question can be solved even if you know Neel Bhatte Sannata of sites. That means you know zero about sites. Then also you can solve this. So first is gone. If first is gone, you're getting the answer. B, 2 and 3 only. I'm so like sad. The answer did not come. Good morning, Dheeraj. I want to cry. No, I'm just overacting. MCQ 13. Very good. All of you tried. Swastika, Madhubala, Mamta, Rishi. Do you people remember? I think I have told you, and that's why I keep on discussing certain things multiple number of times. That means either it has been asked by UPSC earlier, or it is very important it will be asked by UPSC in future. Yes. Kaziranga National Park, composed solely of grassland located in Brahmaputra floodplains, highest biodiversity. You read this. Thank you, JH. So where are you in where are you from in Mizoram? I was in Silchar. From there I went to Aizawl. So we had to take an inner line permit in Silchar, and then we went to Aizawl. It's not very far from Silchar, which is in like lower Assam, I think so. But yeah, I still want to go to Mizoram again. For people who don't know, Mizoram, more than 80% of the population, they are Christian. On Sunday, if you go, which I was unfortunate to go there on Sunday. It's not unfortunate per se because everything is closed. So that's why it was unfortunate for me. For people of Mizoram, they look forward to Sunday because they go to church and they enjoy it. Like, they do prayers and everything. I love it so much. But I did not get enough food to eat that day. So I have to go there again. So how many of you answered it? Jivayan Sirshan. Okay, cool. So yes, you told me, okay, you are from Aizawl only. So you tried this question, cool. Let's solve question number 14, MCQ 14. Which of the following are characteristics of grassland ecosystem? Dominance of grasses over trees, high rainfall throughout the year, frequent fires and grazing, again, to maintain ecosystem balance. Often used for agriculture due to fertile soils. Very good. Chepandis. Cool. So MCQ 13 and 14, other people, they can also share their answer in the comment section. The answer of these two questions I will tell you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll start the session with MCQ 13 and 14 answer. I will share this particular PDF along with the answer of 12 MCQs. 13 and 14 is your homework. You think about it again, and if you try to change your answer, change it, write it in the comment section. Let's have a discussion first thing tomorrow morning. The additional benefit is when tomorrow we start from MCQ 13 and 14, that will be a revision also, and at the same time you'll be like, other people who have not watched my today Hindu analysis, they will watch it again. See, I'm so intelligent. So I will share this particular video in my Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shubh, by I think 15-20 minutes. By 10:30 it will be shared. Cool, sir. If you can share your score out of 12 MCQs, 13 and 14, you don't know the answer. So how will you, know whether it is correct or not? Cool. And again, if you are like, today is the last day, sir. Our 2026 July batch, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Admissions are closing today for 2026. You can join batches for 27 and 28 also. You can use my code SHS Live to get maximum discount. Oh my God. Other codes, if you're using, you will get everything at 28,999. But mine, 27,999. You will save 1,000 rupees. Such big money. Then you can send me a private message on LinkedIn. We can go party in that 1,000 rupees. Oh my God. See? I'm making plannings, I'm doing plannings as well. How you can join these batches? You can go to Google Play Store, download StudyIQ app. That is one way. Or you can go to studyiq.com like this, click on it. Oh my God, scroll it. Or you can, and again, go to UPSC English. And here, you go to all courses because there the pattern and everything is very good. It looks so smooth. For 2026, these are the batches. For 27, for 28, based on which year you are preparing for, you can join any of these batches. Prices will increase after today. So think accordingly, plan accordingly, and save that 1,000 rupees. Give me a party. Okay, buy now. And before buy now, as we do with anything you are buying, see the features, mentorship, 1,000 plus hours of class, materials, test series, MRP Mains Residential Program, where you'll be studying with people who have cleared pre. You'll be getting a full fee refund, 11,000 cash prize for monthly top performer. Everything is there. Based on that, whatever you need, if you don't need mentorship, if you don't need test series, based on that, we have different variants, diamond, platinum and gold, based on what you need, what you don't need. On all of these courses, you will get 7,000 discount if you apply my coupon code. If you apply the other codes, let's say, where was the code? These codes, Guru, only for today India, you will get 6,000. So save 1,000, give me a party. Add promo code, SHS Live, apply. See, it has reduced by 7,000. Platinum will become 22,999. Jadoo. Gold will become 9,999. And if you have any queries, call on this particular number, 924023-1070. My God, very good. Oh my God, 13 out of 14. Sirshan, how can you know the answer of those two questions when I have not even told you? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Durga. Thank you, Maha. Thank you, Jivayan.